Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to change the sealant around the window in these double glazed windows. This type is it's by a company called Munster Joinery. They appear to have a significant market share here in Ireland, and they have a particular type of sealant. So if you are changing the rubber seals on your window, make sure you get the correct one. This is my third attempt. I had to purchase some. I purchased some originally from Amazon and they weren't the correct size. I purchased some from another company in Ireland called Screwfix. I believe they're in the UK as well. They weren't the correct size, but just beware of that. So I've taken out the old sealant here, and it's a fairly straightforward process, and I'll just show you what I've done next. Okay, so as I said, this particular replacement sealant is for windows called Munster Joinery. And as I said, it's a prominent company that makes windows in Ireland. If you're not based in Ireland, what I would strongly suggest you do is find out the manufacturer of the actual window in your dwelling and get the seal appropriately. So this is 15 meters of Munster Joinery rubber seal, or gasket, whatever you want to call it. And the technique I've used is to basically get these clips, line up the original rubber gasket, and as you can see, it's significantly shrunk over the past 10 years to the original. This is the original here, this is the more scoured one. Line them up, because when you're going to refit the new gasket, as you can see, it's cut in the original place at the right angle. So now you can originally just snip out there on the new gasket, and it should be a straightforward fit. And the technique, as I said, that I've used is just to get these clips to clip them together and make sure that they are aligned perfectly. And the next phase now is to start the snipping on the actual new gasket, the new sealant. So let's try that. Right, so here we are. I've snipped the first gasket sealant. It's not an exacting science. However, I've just used an ordinary scissors and just cut it right up at the top there to get a good shear. And here's the second one. Now be very careful with the shearing. Make sure you don't cut through the sealant completely. As you can see, just below the notch there at the outside. And that's that. So I'll continue on with that. Now I have successfully undertake the cuts in the various locations, as is in the same dimensions as the previous gasket. And the next phase now is to fit into the window frame. Now here we are, and I am gently pushing the new gasket into the old frame window. And again, it's not an exacting science. There's a bit of resistance there, a substantial amount of resistance. As a solution to that, you could use silicone lubricant spray, which could make the process easier. But instantly I can see the size and the width of the actual gasket sealant is wider, so that should keep out the drafts, and in my instance keep out the smoke from the chimneys there. So as I said, I'm just gently pushing it in, guiding it in, and following through that process. And as I said, if it is difficult for you, then you could use a lubricant like silicone spray, which could help in that process. Okay, so I have finally managed to fit it. Now it is very tight, and it is essential that you do get the silicone spray, because otherwise it's going to be almost an impossible job to complete. Now you need to use a plier as well, one of these plastic tools that I've used. I found this one to be good as well, just to guide in the actual gasket. And as well as that, before you close, just give it a good lash of it as well, because it is much more, I suppose, bigger than the previous one. The previous dried out, and when I close it there, it might be catching on the lashes, but again with the silicone spray it's perfect. Now I do notice that there is a great increase in the tension on the actual handle as well, but it is sealed, and as I said, it's not an exacting science, but it is significantly less drafty than the previous gasket. And right on time, I've just finished before the chimney goes on in the neighbouring dwelling. Now I can smell a bit of it, but hopefully I'll be getting less smoke in my room. Thank you for watching.